Live from Wayne Prophet Court on the campus of the University of Lynchburg, you're watching men's college basketball on LHSN. The Lynchburg Hornets looking for win number 4 in a row. Play host to the Bridgewater Eagles, looking to avoid a 5-game losing streak as ODAC play has made its way to Turner Gymnasium. Thank you all for spending some time with us here on your Saturday afternoon. TJ Wingard here, taking you through all the action. Going to be an exciting matchup all time. The series is 22-27. Lynchburg with 22 wins, Bridgewater with 27. There to clarify, here are some of the numbers coming into the contest and some of the numbers that aren't on your screen that are worth mentioning, and I'll mention throughout the broadcast as we move along. Bridgewater first in the ODAC in turnovers forced per game and first in turnover margin. And on the other side, Lynchburg just second in the ODAC in turnovers per game, less than 12 a contest. So turnovers going to play a big one, as well as all the categories you see on your screen. A lot of players we can mention at the start of the broadcast, but let's give you some players to watch. Starting with Bridgewater, number 21, the senior from Greensboro, North Carolina, Andy Pack, 9th in the conference in points per game, 10th in rebounds per contest, and as you see on your screen, scored at least 15 in all but one game this year. And we could talk about Cam Savage. He's coming off 30 points at Washington Lee, but TC Thacker has been very efficient so far this year. 4 double-doubles through 5 games played, including against the Generals last time out. Stephen Enright, in his second stint at Bridgewater, was an assistant coach, then got the head coaching gig at VMI. Stayed there for a season to coach the cadets, and now is back to the head coach for Bridgewater. And sitting on the opposite bench is Hillary Scott, 2-0 so far at home this season, starting out his 14th year at the helm of this Lynchburg program. Also got to know, both coaches beyond well-dressed today, so credit to both Coach Enright and Coach Scott for their stellar wardrobes today. The stage is set. We're ready to get underway. Players are taking the hardwood. Here are your starting lineups. Other players to keep your eyes on today: Rashad Smith, first in the ODAC in steals per game and averaging just over 14 points per contest. Him and Andy Pack, you'll hear me call their names a whole lot today. In for Lynchburg, Theron Suggs scored 15 points against Washington and Lee and surpassed 1,300 career points in his career, so congratulations to Theron Suggs. And of course, Cam Savage coming off a 30-point showing against Washington and Lee. He had 20 against CNU as his new college career high, and then decided to top it by 10 points more. TC Thacker at midcourt, standing opposite of Alec Topper, sophomore from Monroe, North Carolina. Today's officials, for those who are wondering, are Craig Turner, Quell Green, and Breland Hillman. And with the opening tip, we are now underway. First possession goes to the Eagles. Hand off to Smith, defended by Savage. Man-to-man defense for Lynchburg. That's been the case all season long. Here's Pack, swinging it back over with Topper. 8 seconds on the shot clock. Back to Rashad Smith. Cross-court swing. Topper works the baseline. Up and under. Perfectly played off the glass, and in. Bridgewater has the opening bucket of the contest. Nice move from the sophomore, averaging just under 10 points a contest. The leaner for Suggs. Touches every part of the rim, rattles out. Rebound for Smith. Lynchburg's taken 4 of the last 5 meetings between these two teams, including last time out. These two teams stood against one another, and that was in December of 2019. As Smith makes it a 4-0 Bridgewater lead. 81-68 final score back in the final month of 2019. TC Thacker, the trailer, nothing but the bottom of the net. First 3 ball to go for Thacker this year. He's now 1 for 4 from beyond the arc and makes it a 1-point contest. And speaking of Thacker, in that game in 2019, 15 points, 16 rebounds. Theron Suggs had 16 points, and Dow Dunton even tallied 9. Twelve seconds on the shot clock. Hand off to Pack. Shot contested by Izzy Lockamy. Rebound for Carrington Young. Big man will bring it across half court himself. That's the zone. Stands on the opposite side. Shot no good. Thacker stays with it. Goes up with the left hand and gives Lynchburg their first lead of the day. Nice cross from Smith, gets just enough room, knocks down the elbow J. Bridgewater back ahead. Lockamy out to Savage, now with Young. Back out to Izzy Cash. Yes, it is. Corner trifecta. Lockamy comes in shooting 33.3% from beyond the arc this season, and one of the nicest people you'll talk to inside the Lynchburg Athletics program. Humble as it gets. He's one of 4 grad students in the starting lineup for Lynchburg. Thacker can't handle the rebound. Might have been poked away by Pack. Hustle play earns Bridgewater another possession, another chance to try to tie this game up. It's 8-6, Lynchburg out in front. Foul away from the ball. Moving screen. Looks like it'll go against Zach Hatter. Sophomore from Waynesboro. Guilty of the first turnover today for Bridgewater. Lynchburg brings it across half court. Hornets number 5 scoring offense in the ODAC. 78.4 points per contest. Bridgewater's defense 8th in the conference, allowing 74.3 points a contest. Savage gets a step on his defender, works his way into the painted area, and knocks it down. Savage has been a great addition to the starting lineup this year. He's the lone non-grad student of the starting 5. And so far averaging more than 12 points a game. Off the backboard for Hatter's shot. Picked up by Young, no numbers ahead for Lynchburg. The transfer from Ferrum slows down the tempo, finds Lockamy cutting, denied by Rashad Smith. Smith is averaging 2.6 steals per game, but here he gets it done with a block. There's a contest averaging less than half a block per game. Savage will inbound from underneath the basket. Now has it back in his hands. Screen right from Young. Pirouette along the baseline. Lockamy, step back for 3. Indeed! Lynchburg's a team accustomed to hot starts, but the first punch today was thrown by Bridgewater, but the Hornets have weathered that storm and now stretched out to a 7-point advantage. Nice cut from Pack. Easy 2 for the senior. First field goal today for Pack. Averaging just under 17 points per game. Suggs, tough, long 2. Coach Stephen Enright behind him for Bridgewater, clapping his hands, seemingly content with Suggs taking tough shots, but that plays right in the hands of Theron Suggs. He's a tough shot taker and a tough shot maker, and he's put on display with his first made basket on the afternoon. Another backdoor cut from Pack. You can see the early emphasis of that part of the Bridgewater offense. Lockamy has it poked away by Smith. Pack has to go in and out of his hands, and out of play it goes. Dow Dunton's going to check in, bringing Carrington Young to the bench. And now the first time we'll see Kellen Hodge. He checks in for Bridgewater, defends Thacker, who receives the inbound pass. Now Hodge stands in front of Suggs. Savage drops it down low. Thacker with a little man on him, Rashad Smith. Instead, swings it over. It's with Dunton. Picks up his dribble. Long right-handed hook, no good. Offensive board for Thacker. Shot fake and give him 2 more. The Madison Heights, Virginia native out to a hot start. Game high, 7 points. Timeout on the floor with 14:47 to go in the first half. And it's going to be stretched out to immediate timeout, so we will take a pause, come back with more of the first half action between the Hornets and the Eagles. Lynchburg ahead by 9 here on LHSN.
When you come to the University of Lynchburg to earn a master's degree in athletic training, you'll spend time in the classroom. But you'll also spend a lot of time in our top-notch facilities learning from athletic trainers and working closely with our student athletes. In the Graduate Cadaver Lab, you'll learn about the human body in the best way possible, by actually studying the human body. This will provide a foundation to make you a much better athletic trainer. In the Athletic Training Laboratory, you'll get hands-on experience, practicing your skills, applying concepts from the classroom, and working with faculty on research projects. It's also where our hydrotherapy facilities are. This space is also used by students for studying and practicing skills outside of class time. In the Sports Medicine Clinic and Turner Gymnasium, you'll work with student athletes from more than 20 NCAA Division III sports teams, helping get them back to practice and into the game as soon as possible. As an athletic training student, you're a big part of the success of our sports teams and the success of the local athletic teams. We see this relationship as a win-win situation. You learn, and that helps us win.
(17-8). Just over 5 minutes into this contest between the Hornets and the Eagles. Bridgewater with possession coming out of the break. Both offenses pretty hot to start. Eagles 4 of 8 from the field, that's 50%. Lynchburg 7 of 11, 63.6%, and a 3 for 3 from downtown. 2 trifectas for Lockamy and 1 for T.C. Thacker, his first on the season. On the defensive end, Lynchburg guilty of the foul. The Hornets so far this year holding opponents to 64.8 points per contest. That's 4th best in the ODAC, and even more impressive, holding teams to shooting under 38% from the field. That's good for a 2nd in the ODAC. Rashad Smith knocks down the first free throw. He's now got 5, leading the way for the Eagles. Talking about the offensive numbers for Bridgewater, averaging 67 points per game. That's 3rd to last in the conference, and shooting under 40% from the field, and 24.9%, I beg your pardon, from beyond the 3-point line. Here an offensive rebound. A chance to cut into the 8-point deficit. Tipped out of play by Lynchburg. Chance to mention Jordan Parham has entered the contest for the Hornets. First time calling the sophomore's name. Shooting 47.1% from downtown. Inbound goes all the way back to the Bridgewater half of the court. 8 seconds on the shot clock. Smith finds Hodge. Nice cut from Smith. Near side corner, it's going to be a shot clock violation. As I'm singing the praises of Lynchburg's defense, put on display perfectly on that possession, playing a full more than 30 seconds of defense, given that there was a pass knocked out of play. Mikey Diallo nearly able to get the shot off, but Bridgewater is 2nd away from getting the 3-point attempt off. Noah Bullock is entered the contest. Thacker backing down Hodge. Draws a 2nd defender in the form of Pack. Goes up, Hodge gets the block. Eddie Pack brings it across, lines up the 3, rattles it in. Now just a 5-point game. Bullock drives right. Pass picked off, trying to find Thacker. Taken away by Hodge. Pack to Smith for 3. Off the back iron, long rebound. Goes to Lockamy. He'll take on 4 Eagles defenders and denied by Andy Pack. Pack trilling the play. Jab step, 3 won't go. Both teams now picking up the tempo. We have less than 13 minutes to play in the first half. Offensive rebound for Thacker. Leads the ODAC in that category, averaging almost 5 a game. 4.8 to be exact. Dunton down to Thacker. Shoved by Hodge. Game with just 10 seconds on the shot clock, and Thacker is losing balance. Would have been a tough shot to put up, so Hodge, guilty party, gives Lynchburg a bit of a break. 12:36 left to go. Timeout on the floor, and it will also become immediate timeout. We'll step aside and come back with more. Hornets ahead by 5 on LHSN. Just over 12 and a half minutes left in the first half of play. Hornets to inbound from underneath the basket, coming out of the timeout. Update for Lynchburg women's basketball fans who are listening. Hornets trail Randolph-Macon 16-13 at the end of the first quarter. Here in Wayne Profit Court, shot fake. First two of the day for Jordan Parham. We'll continue to update you on the women's basketball scores as well as the other ODAC men's basketball games going on around the conference. Bullock tries to keep it in. They're going to say last touch by Bridgewater, much to this displeasure of Coach Stephen Enright, implying that it was touched by Lynchburg, and Zach Hatter trying to make the same case. The near side official. Suggs backs down Ayala, rattles it in. Raleigh, North Carolina native up to 4. We talked about in the opening broadcast, just surpassed 1,300 career points. Fantastic achievement. He's a big part of the scoring side of this Lynchburg team. Hornets get a stop. Young in transition, finds Parham for 3, knocks it down. Out of the timeout, Lynchburg heats up and now have doubled up the Eagles, 24-12. Another timeout on the floor. Gives us a chance to talk about Coach Enright, who just called that timeout. Third season as the head coach here at Bridgewater. Does have previous head coaching experience. Coached Virginia Military Institute in 2018-19. Cadets win 11-21, 4-14 in the Southern Conference. And it was the only season he had with the Cadets. Had top 30 recruits from 3 different states commit to play at VMI. And overall, that 11-21 record, a 2-game improvement in the win column. And he also guided VMI to their first Southern Conference tournament win since 2002 to 2003. So in a lot of ways, some of those numbers may not seem all that flattering, but 2 more wins than the year prior, a conference tournament win for over 15 years, and then top 30 recruits from 3 different states deciding to play for the Cadets. Only 1 year, but certainly you can see why Bridgewater wanted to bring him back. He was an assistant coach starting in 2015-16, then elevated to associate head coach, I should say, in 2016-17. Held that position the next year before heading to VMI. Tipped out of play, last touched by an Eagle. Another turnover forced by Lynchburg. Hornets 6 in the ODAC, and turnovers forced. Just under 15 a contest. Young gets his first two points on the day. Coming off maybe his best game of the season at Washington and Lee. Season high 28 minutes played, 3 made field goals, and 6 points. Andy Pack to resurrect the Bridgewater offense. Here he misses it all. It's currently a 9-0 Lynchburg run. It's going to stay with the Hornets after being tipped out of play. Alec Topper checks back in. Will Dunlap heads back to the bench. Parham attacks Topper. They'll call it a charge, offensive foul. Becomes turnover number 3 for the Hornets. A little over 10 minutes to go in the first half. Chance here for Bridgewater to turn the defensive stop into some momentum. They need a basket here big time. The last made field goal more than 3 minutes game time ago. Corner tray, off the mark for Topper. Down low, trying to find Trey Pittman. He didn't play against the Generals. Back on the court today. Another turnover for Lynchburg, however. It's going to be Andy Pack to bring it across. Transfer from Elon, played 60 games in 2 seasons at Division I level. He was the team's leading scorer last year with Bridgewater, 15 points per game. 3-point shot goes for Hatter. Just the second made 3 today for Bridgewater. Noah Bullock tries to answer back, no good. Carrington Young stays with the play, gets the put back 2. Hornets ahead by 13. Pack finds the open Smith for 3, indeed. Lynchburg trying to move quickly. Get it out in front to Pittman. Gets it back to Bullock, and the Hornets will set up in the half court. Parham swings it to Suggs. Pittman at the free throw line. Spin move on Hodge. Tough turnaround shot, no good. Offensive rebound for Suggs. Gets it back to Pittman, stays with it. Lots of contact, no foul, no basket either. Chance for Bridgewater to get it down to single digits. Hatter's 3, toilet bowls out. Parham for 3, touch too strong. Hodge has it at the top of the key. There you'll see the big man, in a lot of ways, be the catalyst or the instigator of the offense, at least on this possession. It's the attempt for Bridgewater. Suggs defends Pack, trying to get it to Hodge on the low block, taken away. Parham picks it up. Give and go between him and Bullock. Euro from Carrington Young, plays it back out to Parham. 18 seconds on the shot clock, and a travel called on Lynchburg. 3 starters return to the hardwood, and then the first time we mentioned the name Miles Taylor checking on for Lynchburg. Those 3 starters back in the contest: Cam Savage, Izzy Lonkamy, and T.C. Thacker. Pick and pop, Pack for 3, knocks it down. Pack off the catch has proven to be dangerous today. Came today shooting just 25% from beyond the arc. 30-second timeout called by Coach Hillary Scott. Last time out, we talked about Coach Enright's resume. Many Lynchburg fans, you already know about Coach Hillary Scott. For any new viewers, though, Coach Scott, a former assistant coach at Penn State, was there from 2003 to 2008, then hired by Lynchburg. Also was an assistant at East Tennessee State University from 1998 to 2003. Played at EC Glass High School, not but 10 minutes up the road from the University of Lynchburg. Played at Roanoke. Was an NABC All-American in 1993 and 94. Then played overseas in Europe. From 94 to 97, playing in Ireland and then England. He has this Lynchburg team in the spot where they reached the ODAC championship game last year, fell to Randolph-Macon 70-62, and coming into the season and in the most recent coaches poll, Lynchburg receiving votes. So knocking on the door, getting into the top 25 in the country. Lynchburg, preseason pick to finish 4th in the ODAC under Coach Scott's tutelage. Different look defensively for Bridgewater, bringing some more pressure. Smith nearly got the steal. Lynchburg gets it across half court. Bit of a zone press for the Eagles, first time seeing it today. Taylor down low, defended by Pack. Shot clock at 7. Taylor lines up and knocks down the mid-range jet. Hornets back ahead by 9. We got to see Miles Taylor last weekend against North Carolina Wesleyan, and that was his first game played this season. Played just 6 minutes, finished the game with 3 points. 1-on-1 shooting from beyond the arc, and then played 5 minutes at Washington and Lee. Taylor now called for the foul on the defensive end of the court. Addo to inbound. Has Pack, picking up his dribble at the free throw line. Smith cuts, not on the same page with Pack, picked up by Savage, who attacks the basket and draws the foul. Just 2 points so far today for Cam Savage. This becomes his first trip to the free throw line. First trip for any Hornet at that point. Savage enters the contest at 66.7% free throw shooter. Misses on the first. Transferred from Barton College. Talked about the 30 points against W&L, and it was just done very efficiently. 12 of 18 from the field, career high, 12 made field goals, by the way. And then 2 of 3 from beyond the arc. And it was a similar approach for Savage against CNU. Knocked down a 3 in that game, but a lot of his work and scoring output came from mid-range, scoring around the elbows and the free throw line. Does it in the old school way. Shot fake. Now a 3-point shot, missing short. Cone, the junior from Charlotte, North Carolina. No good in the attempt, and the officials are going to come together and discuss who should have possession. Say it's a foul on Savage, so possession stays with the Eagles. Lynchburg frustrated by that. Timeout on the floor brings us to an under 7-minute media timeout. A break in the action. Lynchburg ahead by 10. Just under 7 minutes to go. Don't go anywhere. Plenty more between the Hornets and the Eagles coming to you on LHSN. Welcome back to Turner Gymnasium. 31-21 your score. Lynchburg looking to corral win number 4 in a row. Meanwhile, Bridgewater on the other side looking to see their losing streak come to a close at 4. Their last win was against Penn State Mount Alto, middle of November. pinned up against the glass. Marion Blunt wanted to see that, or excuse me, Aaron Oates wanted to see that called goaltending. Doesn't get the whistle. Instead, it's Taylor on the other end for Lynchburg, setting the lead to 12. Open for three, Pack rattles it in. Team high 11 points for Andy Pack. He scored 15 in every game but one this year, and he's certainly on pace to do that again today. Thacker with the left hand, rolls it in. And he's got a Lynchburg best 9 points so far. Sean Smith draws the attention of two defenders, including Landon Sutton, who just checked in, tries to swing it over to, Pack. Picked up by Lockamy. Sutton in transition. Give him the basket and the foul. The play starts with a great defensive effort from Lockamy. Stays with it, possesses, finds Sutton on the back end of the play. Goes up with no fear, converts the layup, and now gets the chance to convert on the old-fashioned three-point play. Sutton hasn't missed from the line so far this year. Sophomore from High Point, North Carolina. Played in all 10 games last season, including one start. And he's now surpassed his season scoring average of 2.4 a game. He's got 3. Hodge, the cutter off the pick and roll. Misses the left-handed layup. Rebound for Taylor. Looking ahead for Lockamy, taken away by Smith. And a foul on Taylor. That'll be his second. 5th to go against Lynchburg. Bridgewater a couple of fouls away from working their way into the bonus, and it might be a way where you can kind of cut into that 14-point deficit you find yourself in. You also stop the clock, create some extra possessions as well. Liam Caswell just checked in. Talked about the last time these two teams met. It was December 1st, 2019. Caswell was the highest scoring player still on the roster, just under 10 points against the Hornets 2 years ago. 3-point shot. Too strong from Topper. He's had a tough day shooting it. Alex Fitch, first time calling his name this afternoon. Thacker sizes up his defender, knocks down the mid-range jumper. We've seen Thacker score in a variety of ways, but that mid-range J might just be his bread and butter. Topper in front of Young, forced to pick up his dribble, looking for help. Caswell drives on Fitch, shot fake, and gets Fitch in the air. That's an easy foul call for our officiating crew. See the Bridgewater bench. Coach Enright going to make a sub as Caswell steps to the line. 102 so far this season from the stripe. First attempt, no good. Topper will check out. And the sub is Cameron Williams, senior from Bowie, Maryland. One for 2 trip for the junior. Sutton off the screen. Now with Lockamy, shot fake. Tries for his 3rd 3-ball. This one off the side of the rim. Under 4 minutes to go in the first half. Andy Pack, he's knocked down 3 3-balls today. Him and Smith have been the primary scoring duo. They've accounted for 19 of the Eagles' 25 points. 8 seconds on the shot clock. Caswell heaves the 3. Clunks it off the backboard in the iron. Carrington Young outside the restricted circle gets the grown man's basket. Ties his Lynchburg career high at 6 points. Smith left open off the screen. This is the rim entirely. Smith now 1 for 3 from downtown. Trying to get it down low to Thacker, and Kellen Hodge calling for the foul as Thacker is receiving the pass. Hodge, a senior from Greensboro, North Carolina, played at least 17 minutes and 3 in a row. You've heard me call his name a lot. He'll check out now. Bring that Saccone back out. Saccone gathered his 3rd consecutive start for Bridgewater. Another timeout on the floor. Talking about the recent stretches for both these teams. Most recently, both played on Wednesday. Bridgewater was at Roanoke. Fell the Maroons 83-58 for Lynchburg. It was an impressive road win at Washington and Lee, a team that had been shooting the lights out prior to that contest. An 82-69 win for Lynchburg. And the trend continued. Look at how motivated this team is to play on the defensive end. A lot of credit has to go to Coach Hillary Scott, because defense is all about effort and energy. How much do you want to get down and defend the guy in front of you, especially in a man-to-man defense? And Lynchburg has had no problems doing that this year. They held W&L 242% from the field and 6 of 21 from three-point land. Inbound goes right to Fitch. He converts to the left hand. Actually, correction on those totals. W&L shot number 37% from the field. They shot 6 of 29 from beyond the arc. Apologies for having those numbers mixed up. Williams drives in, draws the foul. Go ahead to the line for the first time today. Williams got his first game played last time out at Roanoke. Just 3 minutes, didn't take a shot. But on his career, specifically back in 2019-2020, 21 games played, 10 starts. Those are all 10 collegiate starts under his belt, but this becomes career game 44 played for Williams. I'm sure Coach Enright is happy to see Williams able to get himself back in the rotation. This is the first free throw and the second, so it's a turnover of sorts for Bridgewater. Foul called on Rashad Smith, his second. 6 to go against the Eagles. By the way, Bridgewater has worked themselves into the bonus, so every foul for the rest of the first half will send Bridgewater to the line for at least the 1-1. Lynchburg now in a spot where the next foul against the Eagles will do the same for the Hornets. Either side has gone to the free throw line all that often. Bridgewater 2 of 6, so 4 points left there. Lynchburg 2 of 3. 19-point game. Sutton inbounds out to Young. Barham over to Fitch. Way downtown. Knocks it down. To call Alex Fitch a sharpshooter would be an understatement. Now shooting over 42% from beyond the arc. He's got his first made field goal on the afternoon. Hatter drives in. Kicks it back out to Pack. Defended by Young. Couple of jab steps. A 3 as well short. Bridgewater will make a sub. Alex Topper checks back in. Williams will hit the bench. Full timeout on the floor with 1:50 to go in the first half. 47 to 25 your score. This Lynchburg offense, simply put, it's been stellar, shooting 62.5%, not only from the field, but also from three. That's 20 of 32 shooting from the field, 5 of 8 from downtown. And some of the other key indicators we talked about at the broadcast, Bridgewater's done a great job all year long, forcing turnovers, first in the ODAC, forcing 20 a game. Lynchburg with just 6 so far, staying right around their pace of 11.6 turnovers a game. And Bridgewater with 7 turnovers, so the turnover margin has been very even so far. Here's a discrepancy for you. 23 rebounds for Lynchburg to just 7 for Bridgewater. And that's really impressive for Lynchburg, given it's a 6-1 offensive rebound advantage. And when you put some additional context of a team shooting under 35% with Bridgewater and a team shooting almost 63% with Lynchburg, it's amazing that the Hornets have 5 more offensive rebounds compared to Bridgewater. The struggles continue for the Eagles. Meanwhile, Lynchburg continues to play great basketball over this 3-game win streak. It's wins against CNU, picked to win the Coast to Coast Conference, North Carolina Wesleyan, picked to win the USA Southeast Division, and then Washington and Lee, a very stout opponent inside the ODAC. So the resume is certainly speaking for itself, and you can see why Lynchburg is knocking on the door of becoming a top 25 team in the country. Out of the timeout, Lynchburg with possession. Fitch tries another 3. Nothing but nylon. Fitch even got knocked down in that play. Stayed steady through the contact. Lynchburg has once again doubled up Bridgewater, 50 to 25. So going for 3. Way too strong. Rebound for Sutton. Fitch knocks it down again. Down the stretch of the first half, Alex Fitch has poured on 9 points and stretches the Lynchburg lead up to 28. Have a day, Alex Fitch. Hasn't missed yet from beyond the arc. Played at Division II Millersville in Pennsylvania from 2019 to 2021. 7 games played last year. And with the three balls to go, he ties a season high. He had 3 of 4 of his 3-point shots fall at Methodist in the season opener. Very impressive showing so far for Fitch, and that speaks to another strength that this Lynchburg team has. So we talked about the starting lineup at the open the broadcast. It's 4 grad students and then a transfer that's a junior in Cam Savage. And then you look at the bench and you have players like Fitch who can knock it down whenever you need a big shot. Jordan Parham is lights out from beyond the arc. Down Dutton gives you great minutes down low. Same can be said about Trey Pittman. Jalen Hargrove, we haven't seen him yet today, but he's a very athletic big who can also stretch the floor. Very reminiscent of what Pittman can do for you. Then you have ball handlers like Noah Bullock, Landon Sutton. This is a deep roster, and that was something Coach Hillary Scott made note of for the year. 19 players in the roster, and he wants to be able to use all 19 throughout the season. He wants to be able to have a deep rotation and not force Theron Suggs to play 35, 38 minutes a game, and then by the time you get to ODAC play, he's worn out. Same thing for T.C. Thacker and Izzy Lockamy. Wants to be able to keep these players fresh throughout the season, so that way once you get to the biggest stage, conference tournament, and then big picture, NCAA tournament, if Lynchburg can make it there, his players aren't burnt out. Out of the timeout, a little bit extended break has got a mop down the floor. And now we can continue with this college basketball action coming to you on the Lynchburg Hornets Sports Network. 60 seconds and counting in the first half of play. Pack drives in with the right. Loses it for a moment against Thacker. It's with Aaron Oates. Drives in with the right hand off the glass and in. First bucket of the day for Oates. Fitch. Why not from the elbow? Fitch has now tied T.C. Thacker for a Lynchburg high 11 points, and he's done it in about 4 minutes game time. Two-plus second differential between shot and game clock. It won't matter. Andy Pack, his fourth three-ball to fall. Lynchburg quickly gets it ahead to Parham. Fitch hasn't missed yet. Misses from the free throw line. Rebound for Pack. He'll hold on and watch the final seconds of the first half drain away at the break. 55-30, your score. Lynchburg well out in front. Don't go anywhere. We'll step aside and come back with the stats of the first half of play. So plenty more to watch between Lynchburg and Bridgewater here on LHSN.
Be ready for anything, okay?
Come on, let's go together! Together, let's go! Come on! Let's go, keep going!
There is the best trick. Straight?
Yeah, yep.
Yeah.
Cool. Good one.
All right, guys, you see the meat grinder down here?
Stay in the boat, let's go! Get on camera. Oh, what you think of that? Woo!
My name is Joshua Carr. I am a senior. I am a theater major as well as a history minor. I live in 5th Street, the historic black neighborhood. The money came in, transfer, scholarship, all that. I appreciate that greatly. I'm smart too. So they gave it like, you smart, here, here, here. You know what I'm saying? You come here to do a job. I came here to do a job. A student's job is to get that degree and make something of ourselves. I love the diversity here. I love the different interests of people here. I can teach somebody that doesn't know what I know, and that person can teach me something that I don't know that they know. That's what I love about my school. They respect that and they allow us to showcase and voice our expressions. That's what you get here. you get diversity, you get different people with different knowledge coming together, sharing information and helping each other out. That's what I love. That's why I say people. I love the people here.
Get small classes, nationally recognized mentoring and advising, and a community that has your back every step of the way at the University of Lynchburg.
Welcome back to Lynchburg, Virginia at the break in a contest between the Hornets and the Bridgewater Eagles. Lynchburg well out in front by 25. TJ Wingard here with you. Thank you all for hanging out with us Saturday afternoon on LHSN. Here are some of the stats from the first 20 minutes of play, and they tell the story. It's been rather one-sided, and especially when you take away the scoring outputs of Andy Pack and Rashad Smith, accounting for 22 of Bridgewater's 30 points. And additionally, they have made up 5 of the 6 made threes so far for the Eagles. These numbers would look even more in despair for Bridgewater. But there's still plenty of basketball left to be played, and the good news is 37.5% from beyond the arc isn't all that bad. You might see Bridgewater start to attempt more three-point shots once we get to the second half, but for Lynchburg, you really couldn't have asked for a better showing, and no typo there on the three-point percentage. 7 of 10, 70%, and that is a big turnaround for Lynchburg, who are coming off their 2 lowest three-point shooting performances of the season. Shot 25.8% against North Carolina Wesleyan and 28.6% at Washington and Lee. So, boy has Lynchburg turned around and done so in a big way, and then dominating the glass. I mean, 24-8, that is astronomical, especially considering you would see that stat and maybe think that Lynchburg was the team shooting 38% and Bridgewater was the team shooting almost 64%, but instead it's been the other way around. And we also have to talk about the turnovers. 7-6, Bridgewater with 7, Lynchburg with 6, and hasn't left too much of a disparity when it comes to points opportunities, but it's another advantage for Lynchburg, 10-6, leading the Eagles in points off of those turnovers. Well, those are some of the stats from the first 20 minutes of action. We'll take a pause, come back, talk about some of the scores from around the ODAC Conference, as well as Lynchburg women's basketball on the road at Randolph-Macon today. So don't go anywhere. Plenty more to talk about and watch between Lynchburg and Bridgewater on LHSN.
If I'm walking around over on the crowd side, I always hear someone yelling, "Hey Nat, take our picture. Hey Nat, get this," or something, or "Hey Nat, you got that shot?" So I'm always like trying to photograph the crowds and my friends calling my name. I think sports at Lynchburg unifies us as a whole. No matter what background we come from, what differences we have, and what experience we've experienced through our lives, it brings us all together and we have one goal, which is to win. As a photographer, I definitely get to capture the emotion and the feel and the atmosphere of what's going on during the games and what's happening in the crowd and with the fans. We have hugely dedicated fans here at Lynchburg. They come out whether it's rain, snow, sleet, windy, no matter what, like they will come out and support their team and cheer them on. They will sit through anything. It brings us all together as one. The biggest thing that I've taken from Westover is probably my interactions with faculty. I started working with Dr. Fryer. He's always available for help, and he makes sure that I get to do the experiments and not just be there while he does them. I didn't want to limit myself when I came here to just taking the prereqs for med school. I wanted to get a full, well-rounded education, and I definitely found that in the Westover program. It's given me the opportunity to keep playing soccer at a competitive level, but also it's given me the ability to be a student and to pursue other activities such as EMS. I 100% do Westover because it's not something they're going to regret, and it's going to be a lot of work, but so is everything else. It's just going to help build their education that they've already had and make them a better person for it.
Hi, Mara Willis. How are you? Pretty good.
A lot of people go to the universities to find something to be a part of while getting their education. And when you come here, Lynchburg is that something, it becomes a family. It doesn't matter how long ago you had your professor, they still remember you and they remember all of the hard work that you put in. They're always there for you and they always want to do the best that they can to help you succeed. Here you learn how to love one another regardless of what's going on or what you believe. You leave here better than what you came in. It's what this school's really good at doing.
Okay.
Okay.
We're good.
See you later.
55-30, your score at the break between Lynchburg and Bridgewater. And speaking of score, I want to keep you up to date on everything that's going on around men's basketball world inside the ODAC, as well as the Lynchburg women's basketball team. That's where we'll start. Hornets trail the Randolph-Macon Yellow Jackets 49-32 at the start of the third quarter. Just under 7.5 minutes to go. So lots of basketball left to be played for Lynchburg, try to make the comeback against RMC. Men's basketball action across the ODAC Conference. Randolph-Macon out in front of Roanoke, 27-25 in a heavyweight top 25 battle across not only the conference, but the country. So that's a big one, and I'm sure you're keeping tabs on that one as you're watching this one. And of course, you're watching Lynchburg out in front of Bridgewater, 55-30. Virginia Wesleyan trailing Guilford at Guilford, 43-37. The score down in North Carolina. Hampton City out in front of Eastern Mennonite, 49-27. Next up, Shenandoah up 45-28 on top of Ferrum, but went into that contest 4-2, so good showing there for Shenandoah. And last but not least, Washington and Lee back at home, taking on Randolph this time round and lead 42-41 at the break, so a good one in Lexington, Virginia. So those are some of the scores for around the conference for men's basketball, as well as Lynchburg women's basketball. We'll continue to update you on those scores once we get to the second half, but we'll take one final pause and come back with second half action here in Lynchburg, Virginia. So don't go anywhere. Stay with us for Lynchburg and Bridgewater on LHSN. Final seconds of halftime tick away. We're getting set for the second half of play between Lynchburg and Bridgewater, 55-30. Your score as we get ready for the second half. TJ Winger here with you on LHSN. Going over some of the individual stats and some players we have to make a note of. Game-leading scorer, Andy Pack, 14 points, 5 of 11 shooting from the field, 4 of 7 from downtown. Next highest score is Rashad Smith with 8. Again, those two have accounted for 22 of the 30 points for Bridgewater, who as a team is shooting just under 38% from the field and 37.5% from 3, 2 of 6 from the free throw line. Maybe they can get to the stripe more often and also improve that percentage to try to work their way back into this one. For Lynchburg, we talked about TC Thacker at the start of the broadcast. He's had a double-double in every game this year but one. In the first half, he had a double-double. How about 11 points and 10 rebounds in 20 minutes of play for the Madison Heights, Virginia native. Remarkable showing. And then we got to talk about Alex Fitch. Plus minus at 11. He had 13 points in 5 minutes and 21 seconds of action. And that's what a sharpshooter can do. Take advantage of a small quantity of playing time and continue to further swing momentum in one way or another. Lynchburg with the first possession of the second half. Lockamy for 3, indeed. Izzy Cash gets his third trifecta on the afternoon. And that's where all 9 of his points come from. Savage so far with just 3 points, attacks the basket, and will be called for the offensive foul. Nice work from Zach Hatter here to draw the charge against Savage. Hodge hands off to Pack. He's got 4 3-balls today. This time runs in with the floater, misses off the mark. Lockamy has Savage. He goes right at Rashad Smith. Touch off the glass and in. Lead back to 28. Smith trying to get Savage back. Picks up his dribble. Give and go between Smith, Pack, now 3 from way downtown. Coming from Zach Hatter, and it is off the mark. Young for Thacker. The whistle on the play. A charge called on Carrington Young. Second foul all ready to go against Lynchburg. Both have been charges. Smith lost it just for a moment. Ultimately does get it away to Aaron Oates. Lockamy reads the pass and will have his first field goal from inside the arc today. It ties TC Thacker, second most today for any Hornet, 11 points. Hodge working against Thacker. Tries to dump it off for Oates. Finds the hip of Thacker instead. Goes out of play. Inbound opportunity for Bridgewater. 7 seconds. All that remain on the shot clock. Hatter gets it to Smith. They'll have to work quick. Crosses to his right. Shot denied by Thacker. Theron Suggs, long 2. This is too strong. Reached a new largest lead of the day at 30 points. Offensive foul goes against Bridgewater. Turnover number 9 for the Eagles. Thacker misses the left-handed hook. Rare miss, and he'll be called for over the back. He's had a third team foul to go against Lynchburg. Good play design, especially with Young at the top of the key. Found Thacker, had a size advantage. It's just a rare miss from right around the restricted circle. That's just the second miss today for TC Thacker. Hatter out to Oates. Shot clock marinated down to 10. Hodge almost lost it. Oates does. Young tries to thread the needle to Lockamy. Would have been a pinpoint pass if it got through. Another steal for Rashad Smith. Attacks the rim. Unsure if it was blocked by Thacker, but nonetheless goes out of play. Last touched by Lynchburg. Safe to say the shot was then blocked. Hatter off the handoff from Hodge. Again off the mark. He's now 1 of 4 from beyond the arc. Savage for 3. Indeed! First three-point shot today for Savage, and it goes down. Pack tries to answer on the other end of the court. Trying to do so while working quickly. Savage, again, misses it all. Oates wide open, near side wing. Can't get that one to fall either. Now the three-point shooting has gone cold for Bridgewater. 6 of 19 as a team now. Savage tries to attack the rim. Shot deflected. Pack this time defended by Thacker. Suggs comes over to help, leaves Smith open. Shot well off the mark, but Zach Hatter with good hustle gets the offensive rebound and the second chance 2 points. Makes it a 65-34 ball game, 15:46 to go in regulation. Full timeout called. We will keep it here. Lynchburg well out in front, and we'll talk about the upcoming schedule for both these teams. It's an interesting slate. Next 2 games for Lynchburg are both outside of conference. Saturday the 11th at Salisbury, then Sunday the 12th at CNU. A couple of tough opponents. It'll be the second time they take on CNU. Knocked off the Captains back on November 21st, 83-66. Meanwhile for Bridgewater, also a couple of out-of-conference games. Saturday the 11th, they'll be at home against Catholic. And then Friday the 17th, they'll be at Bethany, 3 p.m. tip on the 17th. And one more non-conference game. They'll host Mary Baldwin on New Year's Eve. Lynchburg also has one more non-conference game after Salisbury CNU. That'll be at William Peace Wednesday the 15th. And then they head out to the Worcester Kiwanis Classic, take on Muskingum on the 29th of December, and then their opponent for December 30th is to be determined. So there's a look at some of the upcoming games ahead for both these teams. Players return to the hardwood. Lynchburg with possession out of the timeout. Head by 31. Trying to get it to Thacker. 3 Eagles defenders collapse on him. Create the turnover. Hatter, another long 3. Nothing but nylon this time around. Second 3-point shot to go for Zach Hatter. Miles Taylor checked in after the timeout. And able to take on the contact. From number 10, Joseph Crenshaw, freshman from Culpeper, Virginia. His first foul of the day. Second to go against Bridgewater in the second half. Three-point attempt for Fitch, just his second miss today. Offensive rebound for Thacker. Foul on the play. It's before Thacker tried to go up with the putback shot. Foul on the floor, inbound for the Hornets. Talks about it at halftime. Alex Fitch had 13 points in just over 5 minutes of action. Very impressive. And as the inbound tries to go to Taylor, Rightfully so, Crenshaw called for his second foul. Grabbed the jersey of Taylor right at the 3 of his 13. So we'll inbound once again. Not deja vu, it's just the exact same play. Thacker defended by the guard, Hatter. Left-handed hook, no good, rebound for Crenshaw. Brings it across half court himself. The trailer's Hatter, another deep 3. Plunks it off the side of the iron. Fitch will go baseline. Late foul, and it's on the shot. So Alex Fitch led to the free throw line for the first time today. So far this season, has not attempted a free throw, so this becomes the first 2 attempts on the junior campaign for Fitch. Currently the team leader with 13 points. Give him 14, a chance to make it 15 here in 1 moment. Lynchburg is a team number 1 in the ODAC free throw shooting percentage at 80.2%. There's a lot of stats that I think made Coach Hillary Scott very happy. That free throw percentage, chieftain among them all. 9th in the conference free throw attempts, 91 coming into today. Jordan Parham just checked back in. Fitch knocks down the second. He's now got a game high, 15. Thacker will check out, and Trey Pittman comes on in his place. Full court man-to-man applied by Noah Bullock, junior from Lorton, Virginia. Those key players that comes off the bench for Lynchburg. Hatter off the screen, taking more shots certainly in the second half. Foul on Bridgewater after the miss. 6th team foul already for the Eagles. Lynchburg a foul away from working themselves into the bonus. We have more than 14 minutes to go in the second half. Sean Smith creates another steal. Bullock stops the transition attempt for the Eagles with the foul. Talked about earlier in the game, Smith averaging 2.6 steals per game. He has surpassed that mark today with 3. Here he kicks it out to Crenshaw. Picks up his dribble, hands it back off to Smith. Takes the body contact from Pittman. And Rashawn Smith will step to the free throw line for attempts 3 and 4 on his day. And while he's at the line, Andy Pack will check back in for Bridgewater, as will Mikey Ayala. Sean Smith's played at least 25 minutes every game this year, scored at least 10 points in all but 1 contest. Over the last 3 games, he's done it at a very efficient mark. 19 of 33 from the field, that's 57.5%. Averaging nearly 18 points per game. Missed on the first attempt. He stays pat at 8 so far this afternoon. Now up to 9. I know I sang the praises of Lynchburg's defense early on in this game, but it stands right now, Bridgewater, 4 of 14 shooting from the field. That's 33.3%. 7 of 22 from beyond the arc, just under 32%. The willingness that every player for Lynchburg has to get down and play man-to-man defense is remarkable. And I've talked to Cam Savage, I've talked to Izzy Lockamy about it, Jordan Parham. They all note they want to play defense, and that is just a rare characteristic. And honestly, it's a trait that could take this team really far. Because you look at the offensive side, and Theron Suggs is a player who can give you 20 points any night. T.C. Thacker is a double-double waiting to erupt. And then you add in Cam Savage is capable of dropping 30 points against one of the best teams in the conference. Carrington Young tied his career high. He's been a nice addition to the mix. Izzy Lockamy knocked down 3 threes today as Bridgewater turns it over. And that's just the starters. Then you have Bullock. Then you have Fitch, who can get on a heater like he did today. Scored 13 points in over 5 minutes in the first half. Landon Sutton's a quality player. Jordan Parham could score in bunches. Trey Pittman, great pick and pop player. He's shooting 50% from beyond the arc That's 7th in the conference. Dow Dutton, Jalen Hargrove, athletic bigs. You all want to play defense, and then with that type of roster, the offense will come easy. Fitch tries another three. No good. Rebound for Crenshaw. And the Eagles turn it over once again. Pittman tries to drive against Caswell. Instead gets it away to Taylor. Pittman normally the man setting the screen. This time takes it. Turnaround Jay. Nothing but the bottom of the net. First 2 points today. The sophomore from Wilson, North Carolina. Ayala tries to drive against Bullock. Caswell for three. Leaves it a touch short. Rebound for Taylor. This game turning into a bit of a track meet, the way these two teams are running up and down the court. Fitch tried to cue it off the body of Alec Topper. Unable to do so. Instead, last touched by the junior. Bridgewater to take over. Will Dunlap gives to Crenshaw. Tough shot, well defended by Pittman. Lynchburg earns another stop. Parham goes to the rim. Tries to go soft off the glass. Won't get that shot to go, but Fitch is there to clean it up. Make it a 71-38 ball game. 17 now for Fitch. Nice cut for Hatter. He's able to knock down the leaner just outside the restricted circle. The 17 for Fitch, by the way, is a career high, so congratulations in order for the Ashburn, Virginia native. Previous career high was 10 points last year. He had 9 in the opener against Methodist. Another three-point shot for Andy Pack. This one's no good. 4 of his 5 makes, though, have been from beyond the arc. Pack will stay with it. Well defended by Taylor. Swings it out to Crenshaw. This three-point attempt won't go. Foul goes against Pack, trying to get the rebound. 7th on Bridgewater. So Lynchburg will head to the line for a one-on-one opportunity. The foul will, at least it should, is the 7th to go against Bridgewater. We're also at 11:03 and under our 14-minute media timeout, which doesn't look like it's going to come to fruition, at least not yet. Instead, players recognizing that Lynchburg is already in the bonus despite 11 minutes to go. And Miles Taylor will step to the line. Taylor from Jamestown, North Carolina, misses on the front end. Rebound for Andy Pack. Ayala drives in, dishes to Smith, gives it right back. Oates able to garner the reach call. It's Noah Bullock. Dow Dutton's going to check in. Miles Taylor to the bench. Spin move from Pack, can't create any separation. Oates tries his luck with a three. Knocks it down. First three-point shot of the season for Aaron Oates. Did not play Wednesday against Roanoke. Had started the 2 games prior. Today he comes off the bench. Dutton is ripped by Pack. Misses the right-handed layup. Oates there to finish the play, and a timeout on the court. With 10:14 to go, that'll bring us to our under 14-minute media timeout. So we'll step aside and come back with more of the second half between Lynchburg and Bridgewater on LHSN.
The biggest thing that I've taken from Westover is probably my interactions with faculty. I started working with Dr. Fryer. He's always available for help, and he makes sure that I get to do the experiments and not just be there while he does them. I didn't want to limit myself when I came here to just taking the prereqs for med school. I wanted to get a full, well-rounded education, and I definitely found that in the Westover program. It's given me the opportunity to keep playing soccer at a competitive level, but also it's given me the ability to be a student and to pursue other activities such as EMS. "100% do Westover because it's not something they're going to regret, and it's going to be a lot of work, but so is everything else. It's just going to help build their education that they've already had and make them a better person for it."
10:14 left to be played between the Hornets and the Eagles. Lynchburg looking to improve their win streak up to 4 games. Bridgewater got plenty of work to do to try to snap a 4-game losing streak and avoid seeing it stretch out to 5 in a row. Update you on some scores from around the ODAC as well as Lynchburg women's basketball currently trailing Randolph-Macon 65-51. Just under 5 minutes left in the fourth quarter there, so it'll take a heroic comeback effort for Lynchburg. Work their way back in that contest. Guilford and Virginia Wesleyan playing a close one. A little over 7 minutes to go in regulation. Virginia Wesleyan has overcome their halftime deficit to Guilford. Moved ahead 59-54. Randolph-Macon creating plenty of separation against Roanoke in a big-time national contest, 56-44. Just under 5 minutes left to be played in Roanoke. Hampton-Sydney was up big against Eastern Mennonite when we last checked in, and they continue to be so, 76-50. 3 minutes left to be played there. Cal Dunton stretches lead up to 28. Shenandoah still up big on Ferrum. And then Washington and Lee and Randolph, 1-possession game at the break, and it just now became a 2-possession game, 69-65. Generals out in front of the Wildcats. 9 minutes to go in the second half. Justin Elkin, first time touching the court today. Tried to set the screen for Fitch. Had it poked away. Thought it was last touched by an Eagle instead. It was turnover number 15 for Lynchburg. And Fitch will head to the bench, bring back Jordan Parham. Also, first time seeing Kevon James check in. Defensive end, he's manned up with Zach Hatter. Oates poked away by a moment, or for a moment, by Dunton. And then Landon Sutton nearly able to keep it in. Great hustle from the sophomore. Trying to make the impossible possible. About a step away from being able to do just that. Izzy Lockley's going to check at the next dead ball. Off the inbound, Mikey Ayala left wide open. And gives Bridgewater their 9th three-point shot to fall. Corner three, Parham tries to answer, and he does just that. 76-50, timeout on the floor, 8:44 left to go in regulation. Full timeout called. What an impressive showing it's been for Lynchburg, and they're certainly in the spot to prove to 3-0 at home, and in every home game they played, it's been a convincing margin. Top CNU by 17, a team that's picked to win the Coast-to-Coast Conference, and coming into that game had just played Beretta, number 3 team in the country, to a single possession loss and had beat number 14 Johns Hopkins. And then last Saturday against North Carolina Wesleyan, beat the battling Bishops, picked to win the USA Southeast Division 79-51. So Lynchburg has simply put dominated everybody who's come into Wayne Prophet Court, which has made for a great showing for those in attendance here on the campus of the University of Lynchburg. Meanwhile, Bridgewater, barring anything crazy happening for the next 8 minutes and 44 seconds, their losing streak will stretch out to 5. They'll fall to 2-6, 0-2 in conference play. And look at the starting five for this team. It's a pretty young roster overall. Andy Pack's a senior. You have Ben Scone, who's a junior, but Sean Smith's a freshman, getting plenty of playing time. Zach Addo, the sophomore, has been really impactful in the second half, and Alec Topper, starting lineup as a sophomore. And then look at the rest of the roster. Aren't that many upperclassmen to go around. Cameron Williams, we saw him for a few minutes. He's a senior. Fletcher Jackson's a junior, but we have not seen him yet today. And then Kellen Hodge is a senior. He's been a big part of the rotation, but other than that, it's been underclassmen doing the heavy lifting, except for those, well, few exceptions. Stephen Enright certainly has a young team on his hands, and he's looking to build the culture in his second stint with Bridgewater. First as a head coach. They're coming from Virginia Military Institute. Juan James called for the foul. 8th to go against Lynchburg. Zach Hatter will, make that the 7th foul for Lynchburg and step in the line regardless of Zach Hatter. Yeah, no free throw attempts coming in today. So these serve as his, or this serves as his first attempt of the year. He misses on the front end. Offensive rebound for Bridgewater. Only their 6th on the day. That leads to another three-point shot falling. Mikey Ayala, all 6 of his points this afternoon have come from beyond the arc. They've all come in the last 2 minutes game time. Nice repertoire move from Dow Dutton. He's now got 4. Pack lines up to 3. Nothing but the bottom of the net. 5th three-point shot to go for Pack, and he has had confidence shooting the basketball today. I know Bridgewater is down by 22, but Andy Pack off the catch, certainly proven to be a dangerous player on the offensive side for the Eagles. Dutton after the feed from Sutton. Easy right-handed floater. Lynchburg back ahead by 24. Hatter hasn't been afraid to pull up from that deep so far today. This time pass it off to the corner. Ayala tries another 3. This one won't fall. Offensive rebound for Smith. No look pass to Oates. Nice recovery for Bridgewater as they continue to try to claw their way back into this one. They'll bring Kellen Hodge back onto the floor. Next dead ball, Sutton drives in. Misses with the right-handed scoop layup. Parham gets it to Elkin. Up and under, and off the glass and in. Now both offenses seemingly hitting their stride. Oates in front of Elkin. No good from 3. Less than 6.5 minutes to go. Sutton finds Parham. Corner, or from the wing. No good. Offensive rebound, Justin Elkin. 10th on the day for Lynchburg. Sutton drives in. Unselfish find. Elkin open, who then had it poked away. With a turnover for Lynchburg. And that's the one stat that's starting to get out of hand for the Hornets late in this contest. Still, it's only at 16, and that's not a terrible mark. And obviously when you're up by 24, not as big of a concern as if it was a 4-point game or something along those lines. But down the stretch, starting to see the offense be a little bit more careless with the basketball. Foul on the play gives Rashawn Smith the opportunity with a 1-and-1. 71.9% free throw shooter before today's game. So far today is 2 for 4. Now 2 for 5. Bridgewater's had a tough day at the free throw line, where points are supposed to be at their easiest. Eagles are 3 of 10. Dunton backs down his defender, Crenshaw. Another offensive rebound for Lynchburg. Swing it over to James. Foul. Goes against James. The ball being poked away. Thought it might have been called a reach. Instead, it's a charge. Second foul to go against James. And with a win for Lynchburg, it'll become wins in 5 of the last 6 against the Eagles. And they'll improve to 13-13 at home against Bridgewater. So improving those numbers. Of course, the first meeting in almost 2 years. December 1st, 2019 was last time these two teams played one another. And for Bridgewater, it's an almost completely new roster. Talked about it earlier. I think Cassell was the highest returning scorer. Didn't even have 10 points in that contest. Good find, Crenshaw gives it to Hodge. Layup is strong, but whistle is blown. Foul on Lynchburg becomes the 10th of the second half. So from this point onward, any foul to go against the Hornets gives Bridgewater 2 free throws guaranteed at the line, which has been fortunate because they've squandered a number of one-on-one opportunities by missing on the front end. And they've already put together a good fight and currently find themselves down by 23 in a game that stretched up in over a 30-point differential between these two sides. You wonder where this contest would be if Bridgewater hadn't left 7 points at the line. And really in specific, those one-on-one misses is not only leaving the point with the miss, but not getting the opportunity to get a second free throw. Could have made this game a little bit more interesting with a little over 5 minutes left to be played. Jalen Hargrove checked in for the first time. Lockaby gets it down low to Hargrove. Foul on the floor. 8 to go against Bridgewater, so this should send Hargrove to the line. Junior from Chesterfield, Virginia, 1 of 2 so far this season on free throw attempts, which missed last season due to an injury. 11 games played in 2019-2020. Converts on the front end of a one-on-one. Earned the second attempt now. Hargrove with 2 points now this afternoon. And speaking of how impressive the scoring output has been today for Lynchburg, all but 2 players to touch the court have at least scored 2 points, those exceptions being Noah Bullock and Kevon James. And 15 players have played today. So for 13 different Hornets have at least 2 points, I'd call that a team effort. Step back from Taylor, pretty move. Not able to knock down the shot. A foul on the play. This will result in 2 more free throws for Bridgewater. These two sides in the second half in specific have tallied up a good amount of personal fouls. It's Rashad Smith taking these free throws. Freshman with 9 points. Chance to make it into double figures, joining Zach Hatter, Aaron Oates, Andy Pack, who have 10, 11, and 19 respectively. And Smith does just that. He's now got at least 10 points in all but 1 game still this season. He's also got 3 rebounds, 5 assists this afternoon. Two for 2 trip. Makes it a 20-point ball game. Looked like he was going to drop it off down low for Taylor. Nice offense in transition. Hatter finds Smith. Now has 13. Trailing just Pack for Bridgewater. Hornets again trying to get it to Hargrove. Foul against the Eagles. Once again, Hargrove will head to the free throw line. For today's game, Hargrove averaging just under 2 points a game, 1.3 rebounds, and sparing playing time. This is on the front of the one-on-one. Next foul against Bridgewater, though, will be number 10. So Lynchburg likely to find themselves in the double bonus and themselves 2 free throws guaranteed. Turnaround Jay from Hatter sinks it. He's been impressive in the second half. Up to 12. At halftime, he had 3. He'd only taken 3 shots. He's now taken 10. Hargrove off the feed from Sutton. Up to 4. Oates is in double figures, but here called for the offensive foul. Oates, just like Hatter, one of those players who has really emerged in the second half. Only had 2 points the first 20 minutes of action. He's up to 11. And in that first half, Oates had only taken 2 shots. Now taken 8, so more Oates, more Hatter to complement Pack and Smith, and it has certainly paid dividends as Bridgewater has battled back from a 1 point down 31 to make it a just 18-point deficit. 3 minutes left in regulation. I know that may sound a little silly, only 18, but when you have a young team and a head coach working with a young roster, trying to build culture and make a difference, plays like this make a difference, and losing by 18 compared to 31 certainly play a factor as well. Now it's a 16-point game, and after the steal from Smith, could have been an even more narrow deficit. Good recovery defense, for Lynchburg. James steps back. His 3-point shot won't fall. Lockamy gives chase, won't get the offensive rebound. James, one of 2 players for Lynchburg yet to score. The other is Noah Bullock. Step back, long 3, Pack leaves it off the front of the iron. Taylor might have been guilty of a travel, gets away with it, however. Picked up his dribble a touch too early. Von James nearly gets the steal. Behind the back move from Pack, and draws another foul against the Hornets. Pack has a game-high 19, but these will be his first 2 free throws on the afternoon. 7 of 18 shooting from the field, 5 of 10 from beyond the arc. Simply put, Andy Pack has not been shy shooting the basketball so far today. His 10 3-point attempts does mark a season high. And he's had some woes throughout the season. First 2 games of the year against Mount Aloysius and at Mary Washington. Started the year 2 of 14 beyond the arc, and then he went on a stretch against Penn State Harrisburg and Marymount, 1 of 7 in those 2 games. Tack on the game at Wilson, he was 1 for 4 there. So then it becomes 2 for 11 over that 3-game stretch. And 3 of 8 at Roanoke on Wednesday, and of course 5 of 10 today. Best percentage so far this season. Hargrove denied by Oates. It was a long possession, taking off a lot of clock. Less than 90 seconds to go. Pretty much solidifies Lynchburg is going to hold on, despite Bridgewater making it a little more interesting down the stretch. And 16 points would mark the closest home differential we've seen so far. But Fitch might have something to say about it, and he does. Another trifecta to fall for Fitch, his 4th. He's now got a game high, 20 points, extending his career high. Pack turns it over. James with Bullock, the two players for Lynchburg who haven't scored. Bullock gives back to James. 14 of the 15 Hornets to touch the court today have scored. That will now change as Elijah Davis and Mason Makovic check in for the first time today. 21-point lead for Lynchburg. And also should be noted the 91 points today, a season high for the Hornets offense. And the 70 points for Bridgewater does tie the most points that Lynchburg has given up in a game, but 70 points in college basketball, if that's the most you're giving up, that is impressive. And that could change. We still have 40 seconds and counting. Hatter drives in. He'll head to the free throw line now. Now Bridgewater has the chance to become the team to score the most points this year against the Hornets. They did so heavily here in the second half. From the free throw line, they were 2 of 6 in the first half. Their total will stretch up to 18 after these two from Hatter. But leaving points at the free throw line feels ever important now that Bridgewater was able to cut into it and make it a 16-point game at 1 point. 7 of 17, make it 8 of 18, but 10 points led to the line. I wonder what that could have done for the complexion of this contest. Instead of it getting down to 16, maybe it's down to 6. Let you play that what-if game at home. Hargrove has it stripped away. Smith finds Dunlap. Wisely holds, then takes the three. Knocks down his first three-point shot. First field goal all season, for that matter, for Will Dunlap, a freshman from Buena Vista, Virginia. Maybe 30 to 40 minutes away from Lynchburg. Shot clock's turned off. Noah Bullock's going to dribble out the remaining clock, and that will bring us to our final score, 91-74. Lynchburg wins their 4th consecutive game and improves to 5-1 on the season, 2-0 in ODAC play. Meanwhile, Bridgewater sees their losing streak stretch out to 5 in a row. They're now 2-6, 0-2 against ODAC opponents. Some final thoughts, then we'll get on to our LHSN player of the game. For Bridgewater, yes, the losing streak continues, but especially down the stretch, this team showed a lot of fight. I like seeing more of Zach Hatter and Aaron Oates on the offensive side, complimenting Rashawn Smith and Andy Pack. I like to see those 4 players really be the offense moving forward as opposed to just Smith and Pack. And like I said, they battled back from down 31 to make it a 16-point game. And for a young team and a head coach just in his 3rd season as the head coach, those little things matter. And I know moral victories don't pay bills, but they certainly, well, improve your morale, right? And that will be something that Bridgewater tries to build upon as they continue to get more experience and play down the stretch through conference action. They'll next be on the floor Saturday the 11th, not in conference play, but instead at home against Catholic, 2 p.m. tip for that game on the 11th. For Lynchburg, you continue to play great basketball. Season high 91 points. Sure, you surrender a season high 74, but the offense was fantastic, and overall the defense did a great job. Bridgewater, despite the late offense, still shot under 41% from the field. They went 12 of 35. That's 34.3% from beyond the arc. The defense was there, and the offense was fantastic. And on that note, we'll give Alex Fitch, our LHSN player of the match. 7 of 10 shooting from the field, 4 of 6 from beyond the arc, 2 for 2 from the line, by the way, 3 rebounds, and a game high 20 points for the junior from Ashburn, Virginia. So congratulations to Alex Fitch. He is our LHSN player of the match. Once again, final score 91-74. Lynchburg improves to 5-1, 2-0 in conference play. Eagles fall 2-6, 0-2 in ODAC action. That's going to do it for us at Wayne Prophet Court. For my director, Sam Rice, my name's TJ Wingard. For the rest of my fantastic LHSN broadcast crew, we are signing off.